Boom! It is time for another commentary. Today, we are in Houston, Texas for Monster Jam. This is NRG Stadium, October 18th, 2025. And I'm very, very ready for yet another commentary. This is our second commentary of what ended up becoming a two-commentary weekend. And we're getting right into it with Tristan England and the JCB Digatron. Starting us off in racing against Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. We've got ourselves the Chicago style racing, which I'm a huge fan of. That 2020 style track, always very fun. And Tristan England's looking fast. It's a little slick out there, but JCB Digatron picks up a win. In last week's event, he got knocked out in round one. He's right back in it with a win here in this first round. Armando Castro and El Toro Loco will take on Jim Kohler and Avengers, running the same exact look that he ran last week in Syracuse. And if you watched the commentary yesterday, well then, yesterday. Very interesting how slick this dirt is right now. I don't know why that is, but that is going to cause a real wrinkle to the racing competition. It's like driving on ice out here for these guys. Armando Castro drives on ice a little bit better and moves on into the next round. Here's Kayla Blood. She's driving Sparkle Smash, and her opponent will be Dalton Widener in the Rod Ryan Show. Love to see the Rod Ryan Show body. Oh, that's a clean one, black and silver. Love it. Dalton is having a little bit of trouble right now maneuvering this slippery track. Kayla Blood, a little bit cleaner. Kayla Blood is your winner. She takes down Dalton Widener. That's an upset in round number one. Here's the Tech Deck Rec Deck. Bryce Kenny's the driver of that, and his opponent is Vendetta. Mike Christensen is the driver of that. Mike Christensen, not the greatest of racers, and this slick track is not going to help him at all. Let's see if the big flip-flop can drift its way through this last corner and pick up a win. The answer is yes. The Tech Deck Rec Deck is your winner. Unfortunately, though, he will not be advancing into the next round. Vendetta is going to return in his place. We are now in round number two. This is Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger, and that is Tristan England and the JCB Digatron. These are two elite racers, and they are ready to fight here in round number two. This is a top-tier battle. One of these drivers is about to win. Who is it going to be around the final turn? It's Tristan England and the JCB Digatron beating Tyler Menninga in a heavyweight battle. Nice donut there. Tristan feeling good about himself after that one. Armando Castro in El Toro Loco is now facing off against Mike Pagliarulo in Excalibur. Michael Pagliarulo, that beautiful old-school Excalibur silver, is going to try and pull out a bit of an upset here. He's going to need to pull off a comeback first because Armando's got a big lead. El Toro Loco around the final corner, and El Toro Loco soars to a round two victory. Armando has been so smooth in racing all year. Armando doesn't have a single racing win this season, but it doesn't matter. Now there is a look at a very special Mayhem body this weekend. Chris Kohler, the driver of Mayhem. I don't know if this body's going to stick around, but I'm not going to lie, I like it way better than the Chevelle as he takes on Kayla Blood in Sparkle Smash. Someone let me know in the comments if they plan to keep this truck. I'm pretty sure it's just a one-week sponsorship, but nonetheless, this thing is stunning. And it is going to advance into the semifinals. So Chris Kohler taking a little weight off of the fiberglass with a smaller body, and he won. We have ourselves a racing problem right now as Camden Murphy's light never got fully staged. And Mike Christensen and Vendetta is going to have to go back to the start. And he will have to re-line up. His opponent, Camden Murphy in the Classroom Crusher, going to get to the line now. Will it work this time? Yes, now it is. There they go. Camden Murphy in the Classroom Crusher was in the final round of racing last week and lost to John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity. Mike Christensen missed that ramp entirely, and that's going to give Camden Murphy a chance. He was slinging it through the turn. Camden Murphy looking fast as can be. He's back in the semifinals. Okay, well, we're rerunning some of the pairs in the second round for some reason, and it's not going to matter in this one. Mike Christensen's going to lose again because he's got a broken axle on the back end, so we just wasted literally everyone's time in the building because Armando's going to have a slower time this time around. That was stupid. Why in the world they're rerunning these races, I don't know, but we are rerunning this one as well. This is ridiculous. But I will take a chance to look at Mayhem again and see the beauty of Mayhem and Sparkle Smash. I wonder if it's because of the lighting problems. I don't know. Who cares? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't think the outcomes are going to be any different. Kayla Blood has herself a lead, and Kayla Blood, in fact, will take down Chris Kohler here. So the rerun cost Chris Kohler a chance at winning. I don't know what happened there to lead to that, but that happens. And now we're in the semifinals. So after some racing chaos, we continue along with Armando Castro and El Toro Loco facing off against Tristan England in the JCB Digatron, who overshot that turn a little bit. Now he's going to have to make up for it in the final turn. Can Armando Castro push his way to a final? No, he cannot. Tristan England is your winner. Armando put up a good fight, but the JCB Digatron is your winner. Kayla Blood and Sparkle Smash will now take on Camden Murphy in the Classroom Crusher. Kayla Blood got a second life in the second round. Let's see if she could use it to move on into the finals. No! Camden Murphy is your winner. So we'll have Tristan England taking on Camden Murphy in the final round. It's a battle of the two Monster Jam University teachers. That's pretty funny. Tristan England and Camden Murphy are the two guys who teach all the students at Monster Jam University. These two now get to battle in the final round for the first time this year. They were not on the same tour, so you know there's a lot of love between these two, but boy, a lot of fierce energy that is going to be battled out in this race. Camden's got a lead. Can he hold it to the final corner? Both of them drifting around, and it is Camden Murphy picking up yet another win here in racing this year. That is number 4. And that is his 12th competition win in 2025. He has been pretty good in this fall series and getting a little bit better. He's had a pretty underrated season so far, and he takes down his good buddy Tristan England here in racing. So now we will advance into skills. And again, you only get one move. If you fail that one move, well, you get a chance to try it again. And that is a pretty good attempt. Oh no, but he attempted a second move there, and so he is disqualified. Good job by the competition manager for the disqualification there. That was 2 moves and a donut. Jim Kohler and Avenger trying a stoppie, fails it, so they're going to give him another chance. Also, the Tech Deck Rec Deck does not compete in this competition. Avenger pulling off a stoppie. Last week he tried a sky wheelie. This week he does a stoppie, and he gets a score of a 7.033. Here's the Ron Ryan Show. Oh, beautiful underglow. Obviously, that's the shell-shocked underglow. Failed that bicycle. He's going to get another one, though. I'm not going to lie. I hated this new rule the first time they did it. Didn't love it the second time. Much bigger fan here the third time, but double failure from the Ron Ryan Show. Here is Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger. We have zoomed in a lot for this one as he gets it on the sidewalls on one wheel. Oh my goodness! That was one of the wildest sidewall saves ever! 9.597 and Tyler Menninga. You're insane! That was some G's on that revolution from Gravedigger. I can only imagine how it felt, but that truck pulled itself out and is very broken. Now here's Mayhem, who the transmission failed on that, so he's going to get another attempt here. Oh, he tried a stoppie, and that is move number 2 for Chris Kohler. Chris Kohler was disqualified for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe you're not allowed to try a different move. Maybe you have to try the same one again, which would be really stupid if that's part of the rule. But here's Michael Pagliarulo and Excalibur, who nails his skills move. Good stoppie. I like it. It's clean. It's smooth. Trying to slap moonwalk. Michael Pagliarulo has upped his game. This dude was really inconsistent in this competition in first quarter. He's coming out here today looking like Tristan England. This is classic. What a great run. Maybe another one? Michael Pagliarulo putting on one of the best skills runs of the year. That was fantastic. He gets an 8.643. Unfortunately, Gravedigger's big move is going to be almost impossible to beat, but that was stellar and would have won 9 out of 10 in the year. Here's Mike Christensen Vendetta. That's a slat wheelie. Smooth, solid. It gets a 7.143. Quick and easy for Vendetta. Here's Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. Last week he walked his stoppie a little bit and just set it down. It almost kind of was like, meh, I've had enough of this. The fans are going crazy for the smoke blowing out of the nose. That is one of the funniest things ever. It is pointless, but the fans love it. That's why it keeps happening. Armando Castro has probably won a handful of skills competitions in his life just because of that. Tries the slat moonwalk, fails that. 8.193 is his score. Is that David? Might have been. There's Sparkle Smash. This is Kayla Blood. Now, last week we saw her put on her best two-wheel move of the year. She was balancing that truck like Lee O'Donnell. And out here today, she has gotten it again. So Kayla Blood seems to have figured out how to balance a monster truck after 10 years driving in the sport. Good for you. That is incredible. Hey, better late than never. She is going to be a real good competitor in this competition if she could do stuff like that. And it's an 8.091, so she's once again rewarded with a good number. Kayla Blood might be able to pull off some overall event championships if she could start getting some of those two-wheel skills runs down, because let's be honest, that has been the one competition that has held her back a lot. She can make it to the semis in racing and get lucky. She can get a high freestyle score, but she's routinely been in the bottom 3 in two-wheel. Tristan England is now doing another stoppie in the JCB Digatron. Tristan England has probably done over 500 stoppies in his life, maybe more than that. Probably even over 1,000 if I had to guess. He has probably done more than anyone in the history of Monster Jam, and that is why he is the greatest stoppier in the history of monster trucks. No question about it. He combos it down. That is the end of his run. Solid, solid work out of Tristan. It's an 8.880. That extra move shouldn't have counted there for scoring because it was after he completed his first one, but he will get second place right now. That sounds like David Mila. Here's Camden Murphy in the Classroom Crusher. Camden coming out last after a two-wheel skills win, trying to knock Gravedigger out of the lead. What in the world is happening? Why did my thing freeze? My commentary from before must have finished exporting. Alright, he sets it down. That wasn't very good. It's a 7.946. And that means your winner is Gravedigger. Time for a Sparkle Smash stunt. What's she smashing today? It's a box truck. Consider yourself smashed. I like that. I do like it. I get an extra clip every week. I get an extra wow moment to add to the end of the year. So, you know what? I like it. I hope they keep it up. If Sparkle Smash is going to be remembered for that, that's pretty cool. Because this truck in general is awful. So I do like this. So it is time now for Vendetta. He's going to start off the freestyle competition. And once he does that, he's going to get 2 minutes. Well, he's already started it. He's going to get 2 minutes to do whatever he wants. And I love this freestyle track, and I'm excited to see Mike Christensen tackle it. Such a great track. We did not get a very good freestyle on it the first time we saw it. So hopefully this one will be a little bit better. It does seem to me like Monster Jam has locked in these two tracks for 2025, or for 26. Usually at the end of the year, Monster Jam whips out whatever tracks they're going to be doing in the next year because they want to test them out, see if there's anything they need to fix, anything they should change. They give them at least 2 to 3 shows to really lock them in. Well, last year they ran 3 tracks and only 2 of them were used this year. They used it as an opportunity to test them out. This season they did not do that. They just said, here are the tracks for next year. Let's see if there's anything else we need to do with them. So I have to say I'm actually really excited for the tracks next year. I think they're a really unique look. It's going to give 2026 a very different feel than we have had in the last couple of years. especially with this track. This track is so good for freestyle, and I think it's going to give us some really cool moments. I mean, this thing is just, it's a classic freestyling track, and it is going to lead to a lot. And I'm very, very much looking forward to what 2026 is going to bring in that regard. Mike Christensen is not quite figuring it out, though, and this is a prime example of what can happen if you're not the best of freestylers. This track is really going to show you who the good freestylers are as Mike Christensen backflips and lands it. The drivers who are not really great freestylers, they're going to be really exposed on a track like this, and Mike Christensen is definitely being exposed because you've got to really just be ballsy. You're not going to be able to run into a big move. You're not going to be able to go flowing move to move. You have got to make moves happen. You've got to send it. You've got to get big air, big saves. Mike Christensen did not do that, and he is going to get the score of a 7.943. Here's Armando Castro and El Toro Loco going for a slap wheelie. Wow. 4 trucks do not compete in freestyle. We have an 8-truck freestyle today. Gravedigger, Tech Deck, Rec Deck, Mayhem, and Kraken are all down for freestyle. Oh my goodness. Now Armando Castro is coming off of a freestyle win last weekend in Syracuse, New York. It was just his second of the year for a guy that I have said was a top 3 freestyler on his stadium tour this year. So he has been very good all season and finally got that second freestyle win he's been looking for a while. And maybe he'll be able to come out here and grab number 3 today. It's not very often you get to win 2 freestyles in a fall series because the stadium lineups just get even better for those fall shows. They are really tough to win. Jammer time for El Toro Loco. That's nice air. Love the way that they angled that jammer. It looked like last week it was a little too short. This week they made it a little steeper, and I like the way it looked. Backflip. Nice. Brakes are a little on fire. Another jammer jump. Nice air. You've really got to nail the angling of those jammers, or else they're just regular jumps. The whole point of those jammers is to be an exciting move, and the last time we saw this track, they weren't quite angled right, so it looks like they've adjusted them this week. The one on the red side, definitely a great angle. The one on the gray side probably could be a little bit steeper still, but an improvement. And the step-up was also really shallow last time, too. There was not much to hit off of that. It looks like they didn't change that very much. So those would be my only critiques for this track. Aside from that, really cool track, and Armando put down a really good freestyle on it, and is going to get an 8.049, so he will sit in first place for right now. And we'll see if that'll hold. I highly doubt it, but with only 8 freestylers, you never know. There's Michael Pagliarulo. He's driving Excalibur, and he is coming off of his best skills performance of the year, and he's already got to save it! Wow! Nice job out of Michael Pagliarulo. I'm very impressed with this kid and his growth. It is very rare that a driver comes into a season with as low expectations as he had and turns into the driver he has. I mean, Michael Pagliarulo came from a family of drivers that has been historically very underperforming. Matt Pagliarulo has done very little in Monster Jam. Nick Pagliarulo had 1 or 2 years of being good, but has really fallen off. So for Michael to turn into the driver that he is was a really nice surprise. And the fact that he is the sole chance for the Pagliarulo family to have any sort of legacy in this sport is really cool. And wow! Big air, broken truck, and the save again. Unfortunately, the run is over. It's a 7.9, not enough to be the lead, but again, another big performance from Michael Pagliarulo. Whoa. I already told you that Mayhem doesn't compete in this competition, so I guess we're about to find out that that truck is not going to drive anymore. So that is the end of that. Here's the Rod Ryan show. This is Dalton Widener. Now, Dalton Widener, it is just so weird to see him in this truck because, I don't know, I've never pictured him as a Rod Ryan driver, but That is the thing that is so cool about when Monster Jam goes to Houston, because every time Monster Jam goes to Houston, they pick another driver to represent the Rod Ryan brand. And it is one of the most long-standing legacies and traditions in Monster Jam. And I love that it's still going, and I love that they give different drivers a chance to drive this truck. It is Dalton's first chance to do this, so it's a really cool thing to be able to add your name to the Rod Ryan Show list. It is, truthfully, one of the most heavily driven monster trucks, or Monster Jam trucks ever. It's probably been one of the most, got one of the longest lists of drivers. Now, maybe not. I mean, it only gets one show a year, too. But still, very cool, and Dalton Widener adding his name to the list, going to try and put on a good freestyle. I saw somewhere this week, by the way, that some idiot online said that Dalton Widener was not a good driver, and I laughed so hard at that, because anyone who thinks that Dalton Widener is not a good driver is actually stupid. That is just hilarious. So, Dalton, you're a great driver, pal. Anyone who tells you otherwise can kick rocks. That's just, whatever. I saw Dalton actually respond to that person and say, why do you say that? And I just was like, man, you don't even need to give that loser the time of day. That's just so funny. But listen, everyone's going to say stuff about you online. There's always going to be haters everywhere. You could tell those haters to stuff it, because we don't listen to haters around here. And Dalton Widener proving them haters wrong with a nice backflip in the Rod Ryan Show. Oh my, going for the jammer. Nice. Again, I don't think it's anything about the way the drivers are hitting it. I think it's just that jammer is still a little too low to give you a really good hit. Definitely a little bit better pace this week than we saw the last time we saw Dalton in the fall series. His freestyle clock is finished. This donut is just for the fans. It doesn't count for scoring. Nice cyclone. Good finish for Dalton Widener, and that is going to get him a 7.984. Another consistent run out of the kid. Here's Kayla Blood and Sparkle Smash. Lets the confetti out mid-drive, and it blew right back in her face. Her time is going. Nice air. Kayla Blood does not have a competition win yet in 2025. Maybe today will be the day. She is one of 3 drivers that were on a stadium series this year that did not have a freestyle win, trying to add one here. She pulls out a save, and now she might have a chance. My goodness, I didn't think that was going to be possible, but you know what? In a day where there's only 8 freestylers, you've got a shot at it. Man, oh man, she's got a locked planetary in the back. That's going to hurt her. She's got to try and free that thing up, and she does. So it's really hard to drive with a locked wheel. Now she's at least got a chance to go with that thing broken free. She's kind of letting it loose here. She is one of 3 with Nick Pagliarulo and Matt Pagliarulo to have not a single competition win, and she's putting up her best chance for it right now. So technically, she's actually the only Monster Jam driver not named Pagliarulo to not have a competition win this season. She's got no power in that front left either, and she is doing a one-sided donut. I gotta give her some major props for just a ragged edge freestyle there, and it has put her in first at an 8.180. So with not many freestylers left, Kayla Blood might actually have a chance. But we'll see if Jim Kohler and Avenger can turn things around here for him. Maybe Jim Kohler can grab a freestyle win. Jim had 2 on the year. Nice air. Now Jim last weekend didn't complete 30 seconds in his run. He went tumbling over. It was a pretty poor performance, so we'll see if he can turn things around this week. He's been shut off. Not sure why. That's never good. Oh, great, he's done. So Avenger's not going to get a score either. So for something that we can't even see, they have ended his run. That's a shame. So Avenger joins the long list of drivers that is not going to get to freestyle today. That makes it 5 trucks that didn't compete technically in freestyle. Here's the Classroom Crusher. So we are looking at a 7-truck freestyle minimum. That is assuming no one else fails. Well, Camden is your final freestyler, so this is your last... No, sorry, there's one more after him. I lied. There's one more truck to go that I missed in the standings here. So it is just the Classroom Crusher and the JCB Digatron. That is it. These are your last 2. So as long as, well, Camden's gotten the 30 seconds. As long as Tristan does, we'll have a 7-truck freestyle. Nice air. Can Camden come out here and pick up freestyle win number 4? Freestyle is actually the competition in which he has his least amount of wins this season. He has 4 wins in racing, 5 wins in skills, and 3 in freestyle. So today is a good day to get that number up to number 4. Again, a wide open door. Your current leader is Sparkle Smash with a score of an 8.18. Literally, all you have to do is fill the clock and do a backflip, and you should take the lead. So we'll see if that's possible. Oh, what happened? I guess Josh's camera died. Yep, been there before. Been there before. So we resume on the phone. Hey, those were some quick hands. We probably only missed 1 jump from Camden Murphy there. Josh doing a really liquid, lightning-fast reload there. Big air on the backflip. Oh no! He put it in reverse and flipped it over and killed his chance of taking a lead. He gets a 7.79. If he landed it, he would have had it in the bag. Oh well, good job. That was a nice shuffle out of the batteries as we have our freestyle finalist, Tristan England in the JCB Digatron. This is your last guy out, and if he completes 30 seconds, we will have officially had a 7-truck freestyle in a stadium in the year 2025, if you could believe it. That is ridiculous. Holy moly, that's a aggressive mother. The air conditioning came on the second my mom went to close her bedroom door, and that slammed the door shut. You know what door isn't shut? The one for Tristan England to win freestyle today, and if he does, it will be freestyle win number 3. This is quite literally the easiest freestyle win I will have ever seen in my entire life. My mother just apologized for absolutely annihilating that door. Tristan right now has to beat an 8.18. He literally just has to do a backflip in this run, and I will hand him a win. This will be, if he can do it, the easiest one he'll ever have. I don't think anyone has ever had an easier opportunity to win freestyle coming out last than Tristan England has right now. So I guess mathematically this has been the worst freestyle competition ever. Tristan's landed the backflip, but hold it. Oh no, don't do the same thing as Camden, please. Thank you. It's like, please. This show would be cursed if that was the case. So Tristan is just pitter-pattering around to guarantee a freestyle win. Cross thread, cool. We're down to the final few seconds. Can Tristan put something together of memory in this run? I think my answer is going to be no. But I think he's done enough to win freestyle today, so that's pretty cool. All right, well, that's it. That's the end of the run. They shut him off because only 7 trucks at freestyle, and we've seen enough. So, we got an encore! Holy cow! You know what? Good for Monster Jam. I like it. They let the Rod Ryan show come out and do an encore because only 7 trucks freestyle, and the fans didn't get their money's worth. I was literally about to say how piss poor that was of Monster Jam to not let Tristan keep going after 7 trucks freestyle that he clearly could have kept going, but they decided to do an encore instead, which I think is more fun. So I take back everything negative I was about to say. And now for Dalton, you're being tasked with doing an encore. This is a guy who's usually kind of being more conservative in his runs. I wouldn't be surprised if he lets it go a little bit more. Put some more pepper onto that pasta and put out a good freestyle in an encore. No time to worry about, no score to worry about, Just go out there and have fun. These fans are loving it. The fans are on their feet. We don't get encores in Monster Jam anymore. This is literally the first encore in like 3 years. So, huge fan of that. The fans got on their feet. Of course they're going to shut them off. That is the most classic Monster Jam thing ever. Here's an encore, but we're going to shut them off after something stupid broke. Oh, that's really funny. So Tristan England of the JCB Digatron is your freestyle winner. That is his 3rd of the year and his 18th competition win on the season. And overall event champion-wise, he walked away with a very easy overall event championship, picking up 34 points. Caleb Blood and Sparkle Smash finished in 2nd, proving my point that I made earlier. Oh, but Tristan picks up overall win number 10 in 2025. Nobody had more overall event championships coming out of that series. And actually, nobody has more overall event championships in 2025 at the stadium level. So good for him on that. That is a big pickup for him in this event. That's going to do it for today for the Houston commentary. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This show was very underwhelming in freestyle. Two Wheel Skills was great, so I've got to give this show a 4.5 overall. I mean, with Two Wheel being as great as it was, this show, if Two Wheel was normal, we probably would have seen a 1.5 to a 2 for this show, because freestyle had nothing going on. Racing was pretty underwhelming. But, hey, for the first time in a very long time, skills steals the show. So, that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.